You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, Days of Our Lives fans. We want to talk to you today about a serious topic, and we want to address how it is that John Aniston died. How did he die? What was his cause of death? We lost the Victor Kiriakis actor in November of 2022, but there are still a lot of fans questioning exactly what happened, why we've lost him, and, where do we go from here? We're going to dig into all that, but if you haven't already, please reach down, click that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our Days of Our Lives spoilers, news, everything you want to know about your favorite streaming soap opera. So you may recall John Aniston passed away on November 11th, 2022. He had played Victor Kiriakis for more than 37 years in thousands and thousands of performances, and fans were crushed to find out that he had died from his equally famous daughter, Jennifer Aniston. Of course, you know her from Friends and movies. She's been in a ton of stuff. She and her dad both had Hollywood Walk of Fame stars. John Aniston's birth name was Yanis Anastasakis. I can't pronounce it. It's Greek. He had 3 siblings. They all came from Crete, Greece, and they moved to the U.S. when John Aniston was just 2 years old. They moved to Pennsylvania because his dad wanted to open a restaurant there. And according to his history, John Aniston became interested in acting early on. Then he wound up going to Penn State University and then into the Navy before circling back around to pursue his acting dream. He landed his first role in the 60s in just a small extra spot on a show called Brenner. It was a 50s, 60s era crime drama. And then fast forward to the mid-80s, and after a guest role on Days as a doctor, Days of Our Lives cast him as Greek bad boy Victor Kiriakis, and he debuted in 1985. He played that role up until his death. Everybody was surprised, shocked, stunned on Monday, November 14th, 2022, when word spread that Jennifer Aniston had posted on her Instagram a very sweet tribute about her dad, John Aniston, confirming his death on Friday, November 11th. She said, "Sweet Papa, you were one of the most beautiful humans I ever knew. I am so grateful that you went soaring into the heavens in peace and without pain. And on 11/11, no less, you always had perfect timing." And then she closed it saying, "Don't forget to visit." So a few months before his passing, back in June 2022, John Aniston was honored with a Daytime Emmy Lifetime Achievement Award for his decades of work on Days of Our Lives as Victor Kiriakis. And he was not well enough to attend that Emmy ceremony. And this was, 6 months before his death. Instead, his daughter Jennifer Aniston accepted the accolade on his behalf, calling it a truly special moment for me as an opportunity to pay tribute to a true icon in the daytime television world. Obviously, we can all agree that John Aniston was a daytime icon. And she said she was happy to recognize the lifetime achievements of a great and well-respected actor who also happens to be my dad, John Aniston. So, you got to love Victor Kiriakis, whether he's bad, whether he's good. He was amazing. He was an integral part of the fabric on the NBC soap, and they've kept him alive on there, which is interesting. They are still name dropping him. They haven't had the character pass away, even though, we are many months past then, and they've had plenty of time to write an adjustment into the storylines, but they've not. Back in the day, a year after John Aniston's Days of Our Lives debut as Victor Kiriakis, Soap Digest slapped the label romantic villain on him and said that Victor was the type of man that made men cringe in fear and women's hearts go pitter-patter. I think that is very accurate. So initially, there wasn't a cause of death listed by Jennifer Aniston, but also bear in mind her dad was 89. That is a long, long life. A lot of people die at 89 just of, what you would call natural causes, old age. They're not allowed to put old age as a cause of death anymore on death certificates. Did you know that? And so generally they will write it off to something, whether it's heart failure or something like that. So a few months after his death, Jennifer Aniston spoke in more detail about her dad's death and how losing both of her parents reaffirmed her dedication to health and fitness. Her mom, who had been divorced from John Aniston for several years, died in 2016, 6 years before John Aniston died. But then a decade before that, back in 2006, John Aniston suffered a heart attack. So that was 2006. So that was 17 years before he passed away. He had a heart attack. He didn't seem to have a second one, not that made news at any rate. But Jennifer Aniston told USA Today about her parents' health, both of her parents, John Aniston and his ex-wife. God bless my parents who are no longer with us, but they were not the specimens of health. My dad still lived to be 89 years old, shockingly, but that's probably stubborn Greek genes. And she said watching her parents' health decline over time inspired her to make a priority about exercise, health, and sleep. So it's clearly on her mind, and Jennifer Aniston said that she must have been a doctor in her past life, and her friends call her Dr. Aniston. So dial back now to March 2020, and there were some pictures of John Aniston that you might have seen. He was out shopping at Costco with his second wife, and these were paraded by the Daily Mail, this UK site, and The Sun, another UK site. And then the National Enquirer picked up the photos and said, talking about Jennifer Aniston, said that Jen is extremely concerned because John appears to be dying by inches right in front of her eyes. They said an insider snitched to the National Enquirer, and the quote continued, "He's aging faster than before because he refuses to take care of himself!" Exclamation point. Of course, this is, who knows where National Enquirer got this. It's not from Jennifer Aniston, and there's no proof that it's from anyone associated with the family, and it might just be something, who knows what the source was, but he definitely looked his age. I won't say that he looked in those photos worse than his age. He just looked his age. That's all. In the photos, then at the time, John Aniston was about 86 years old. He was headed into the big box discount store walking on a cane. But once John Aniston got inside, he hopped into one of those mobility scooters and drove that around while his wife got stuff off the shelves. He had a 6-pack of full-size Merlot bottles, and another Costco shopper snapped some pictures of him indulging in a hot dog and soda from the snack bar while his wife, Sherry Aniston, had a pizza slice and a soda from Costco. And I mean, come on, how can you go to Costco and not hit the snack bar? To me, that just makes John Aniston like the rest of us, right? But based on Jennifer Aniston's tribute post about her dad's death, saying that he went soaring into the heavens in peace and without pain, it's that without pain part, to me, that indicates natural causes, because a heart attack is painful. Other things are painful. So it sounds like that his health was in the decline because he was in his late 80s and wasn't a particularly healthy guy. But, you know, despite his daughter pointing out that he made some unhealthy choices and had some health conditions, you know, I think we all knew this was coming. In the last few years of his scenes on Days of Our Lives, John Aniston was rarely seen standing. He filmed almost all of his scenes sitting in Victor Kiriakis' favorite armchair. But I mean, come on, let's say this. At age 89, John Aniston had an impressive run in life and on soaps as Victor Kiriakis, although he was noticeably frail in recent years and unable to attend the Emmys to accept his Lifetime Achievement Award. He lived a rich life, and when it comes down to why did John Aniston die, just old age. He just wore out. Happens to everybody. Death and taxes, the things they say you cannot avoid. Hey, if you haven't already, reach down, click that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our Days of Our Lives spoilers and casting news, and we would love to hear from you. How much do you miss seeing John Aniston as Victor Kiriakis on Days? I miss him all the time. Every time they name drop him, I wish he would walk through that door.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.